There are GMTs that shout and there are GMTs that whisper. This one, it just looks at you like it knows something that you don't. It's tough, it's clean, and it's got that quiet New York swagger that never goes out of style. I've worn plenty of GMTs that try to impress me, but this one just shows up, does its job, and somehow I feel a lot cooler because of it. This is the Islander Calabro GMT, and I think it's time more people paid attention to it. Hi there, I'm Dave and welcome back to Microbrand Watch, where every week we celebrate the innovation, the design and the passion that make microbrands some of the most exciting models in watchmaking today. And let's start by saying that I didn't buy this expecting to love it. It looked solid, the specs made sense, the design was clean, but it didn't shout for attention. Then I wore it, day after day after day, without even thinking about it. And that's when it clicked. This isn't a showpiece watch. This is a watch that just gets on with it. Look, there's a quiet confidence to this watch. It doesn't need to scream. The bold indices, the red GMT hand, the solid heft, it's built for movement, for travel, for life. I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time in New York, particularly in an area called Williamsburg, that's got a mix of old industry, clean design, and a lot of great coffee. And that's really the Calabro all over. It's rugged but refined. It's stylish without being too slick. And at $379, it's kind of like a New York deli lunch. It's not cheap, but it's not overpriced either. You know exactly what you're paying for. Solid quality, done right. It's the kind of watch that looks just as good grabbing a bagel as it does heading into Manhattan for a meeting. Inside, the Calabro is powered by the Seiko NH34, a reliable automatic with a 40-hour power reserve. It's got what's known as an office GMT. So you move the GMT hand independently instead of the local hour hand. Now, for constant travelers, that might not be ideal, but for most of us who are just keeping track of meetings overseas or calling family who live abroad, it's absolutely perfect. Throw in 200 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and a 44mm case that hits that sweet spot between presence and comfort. And you've got something here that's built to handle life, wherever you take it. But what really sets the Calabro apart are the details that you start to notice once you spend time with it. First, you've got the dial. At first glance, it's clean and purposeful. But then you realize there's a whole world map's worth of thinking built into it. Around the bezel, you've got each major city for each time zone, and it's a proper world time layout, the kind you'd expect to see on a watch costing an awful lot more. And interestingly enough, right there, sitting proudly among them, is not New York, but Long Island. And that's deliberate. That's where Islander's based, and it's a small but confident way of saying, this is who we are. This is where we're from. Then you notice the very fine crosshair running through the center of the dial. It's perfectly aligned through the 12, 3, 6 and 9 markers. You only catch it when the light hits it just right, but when you do, it adds that sense of sort of instrument panel precision, like a nod to a flight deck design that anchors the whole dial in balance and in purpose. Flip it over and the attention to detail continues because the case back is beautifully engraved with a stylized lighthouse rising above the waves. That's a subtle tribute to Islanders' coastal roots. It's deep, it's crisp, and it's properly machined. It's not the shallow laser etching that you often see at this price point. Even the clasp gets it right. It's brushed steel, it's solid, and it's got a sharply engraved Islander logo that feels reassuring every time you snap it shut. Now look, these touches don't jump out at you, but together they make the Calabro feel like a watch that's properly been designed, not just built. Now look, if you enjoy Islander watches, make sure to check out my review of the Islander Solitaire, a solar-powered diver that I think might be the perfect beta for my house move. It's a completely different vibe from this Calabro, but it's got the same honesty with a totally different attitude. I'll link it up here and in the description below. Go take a look. Now I've worn this Calabro on trains, planes and automobiles, in the pub, even down by the beach, and every time it just works. The bezel's got a satisfying click, the loom's bright enough to rely on, and the bracelet feels properly made. And that's what I love about this. It doesn't demand attention, but it genuinely earns it. It's the watch that I keep coming back to without really knowing why. And maybe that's the best kind of watch. Look, if you follow the channel, you know that I love GMT watches, and this one is firmly staying in the collection. It's earned its spot there, not because it's flashy or complicated, but because it just works every day on my wrist. Listen, thanks for spending some of your time with me today. I'm Dave, this is Microbrand Watch, and I hope that today we've introduced you to another Microbrand that you'll want to watch. Until next time, enjoy your watches.